I'm back. I got a little sidetracked. I was working on the OBS truck, and I do have the skin off, and I'm pretty sure I recorded that part, but I'm gonna go back and then I might change the door on the OBS, the passenger side. I didn't want to change it because I wanted to keep the VIN number on there because of the sticker, but if I have to, I'll just go get another sticker. But I have another door. I'm trying to work. When I bought this truck, the week that I bought the truck, the end of the week, on the weekend, someone tried to steal this truck. I mean, literally the same week that I bought the truck, and they broke the column on it, and then they messed up this door. I guess they popped it from right here, and pushing on it, they put a good dent on it. The only reason why I was trying to save it because of the VIN number on the door. But this is I wanted to. The reason why I make a sidetrack on it is I'm working on my son's truck, and nice. All right, guys, so back on the swap seats for the tri-cock seats on the Silverado. Here we go. My son's already doing the installation on the floor for the sound. I don't know if anyone's done this, but I had to figure out where these seats come on from the Dodge. We have nothing mounted on here. There's nothing to mount these seat belts, so I came up with this idea, which I'm going to cut this metal out. I made a template, you can see, of the seat belt. And then just gonna go like this, cut that hole out, and then I'm gonna make a mounting point for this seat belt here. Mounting point here, and for this slot right here, it's gonna go about right there. Alright guys, so got the seatbelt in. Just gonna go around the truck and then get a better view of it. So there it is in that corner. Better. So on the Trek Hawk, as you can see, there was an opening on the pillar. So on the Silverado, I had to make an opening, and that's what I got right there. But right there in the bottom, go around again. There needs to be a mounting point, which never exists on the truck. So it's an empty spot, so we need a mounting point for right there. So I'm going to weld in a piece here that has a nut. Mount that on. And I have some scrap metal. You can use your own bolts. You get fresh bolts, but I'm going to reuse this bolt holes right here that are on this bed. I'm going to cut this out here, and then tack weld this, probably like right there, drill a hole, and then weld it to that piece right there. And then now I have just clean out that rust, and now I have a spot to drive in a nut for that seat belt. Alright guys, I'll get back to you. It's a bracket, still got to weld it. I'm going to put a plate here, going across here, and tap into that, into the plate that's going to go across here, and then drill a hole here, hole there, and then tack weld that area right there, and then just a whole plate going across this square piece. It's going to go from here straight down, and then drill a hole into that piece, and then tack weld it here, and here, and then right in here and here, and possibly another one right here. At least 3 or 4 spots. That's the idea. All right, get back to you. Okay, catch you guys up a little bit. See how it looks. I welded this piece in for that round, how it's round arched right there. So I welded this piece in, and then I drilled in some holes, and I'm gonna weld in there. I'm still gonna go back and tap in on the other side, and weld these in first, take this back off, and then weld in a couple more tabs onto the parts, the bracket that I added. All right, be right back. Here, and on this one as well. Get a couple of tack welds in here, and then pull the seats, just finish those up. The one over here in the corner, I'm gonna have to modify this one. So one of my subscribers said they want to see more of the work, and so that's what I'm trying to do. It's kind of hard to do it with the camera, but see, I went ahead and cleaned that edge there. Should probably clean them before, but that's where the weld's going to be, so it's fine. There's only a little bit of paint on there, so this is something simple, but get into here in this crack, so get a nice tack weld in there. Hold that piece. All right. Got the seat belt in. So next I got all three of them welded. The one over here has to be modified, so the one closer to the door in the back, and then get you a better view of the seat belt. So I re-drilled the hole. I'm gonna get a plate and weld it to the sheet metal, but that's pretty much where that's at right now. That works pretty good. There you go, guys. Pull that seat out, clean up those. I'm gonna re-weld it all the way, and then clean it up, fix that bracket over there, put it back in. Should be good to go. And just get a plate over there on top of that seat belt. Okay, here we go. So it's been like 2 days. I'm gonna take a break from this. Had some other things to do, but I got these 3 brackets in, and these are the original mounting spots from the truck. And I got this 3rd one, which wasn't gonna work because the rail that's on the Trackhawk seat sits right above this, and there's no mounting area but here, so it covers the bolt, and I need to, in order to remove that seat, it has to be put somewhere else. So what I'm going to do is fabricate this piece. It was originally cut off from the Trackhawk, and I'm going to weld it here, this area, drill a hole into the cab down, and then bolt that for the 3rd bracket. Some modification they have to do on that. I was thinking about making another one right here on the side, but that might be in the way possibly. So inside it'll be hidden and it's out of the way. So I think that would do. So let's go back to the seat. Since this metal is thin, this rail, and you can see the thickness of the metal on the bracket, so I think the factory used like an adhesive or some type of another weld that they put on there to add this bracket. Using the tools that I have, was starting to cut into this bracket here. This bracket's thinner, as you can see. The gauge of the metal is thinner compared to this one, so I cut off what was standing out and left that, so I don't have to damage that bracket, and then welded this to it. Right now it's tack welded, already just tack weld on there. I'm gonna clean it up and finish welding that. Same with this one and the one down here. Get a better penetration on this top piece here. And then as for this one here, which is the one in the back on the outside of the door, or closer to the door, which is this one, I could take this bolt out afterwards, and then it'll be mounted right there for the 4th one. Alright guys, so I'll get back to you when it's all done, or I might record some of it, but mainly it's just welding. Alright, see you in a bit. Alright guys, so make sure you clean your metal. You don't want any paint on there. You want to get a nice bond, nice weld. So that should work right there. It's got a little bit of a gap. Get some wire in there. Should work pretty good. Alright, give me a minute. Alright guys, so this is what I got. I got an Eastwood MIG welder 135. This is a gas welder. You can use a heavier, has an adapter for the power as well, for like a 220. And I believe this is a 110. This is just your standard electrical plug-in, but this one is one of the main wires that's on the side of the house. So this one, I believe, is drawn by itself, so it's got a direct wire to the box instead of it being branched out. So that's why I use that one, and so far it's worked out for me. I haven't popped any breakers or anything. So I'm using the flex core wire on this job. The metal is not that thick. It should be able to do it, and also don't have to deal with, since I'm outside, I don't have to bother with the air blowing, shutting off with the gas. This can get you by if you're in a pinch, or if you don't have the gas, because the flex core has its own elements to go ahead and burn. So I will be using a heavier one later. That would be more for like a thicker welding job, which is basically like framework. I just got this done, so shout out to my son and his uncle. They helped me out. They hooked up the wire for me, and I'll be getting my compressor hooked up pretty soon, so slowly but surely. One is for the air tank, the compressor, and the other one's going to be for the heavier duty welder for like suspension work and framework and whatnot. But we'll be getting into more of that as well, and showing you guys tips and helping you guys out. All right, so let's get to the welding part here. And then as for the welding part, if you guys can hear me, it's gonna, based on your setting, you guys are gonna have to play with the metal that you have, and then find out how hot and how cold it is, and how much your wire feed's gonna run. So you gotta play with that. And as always, you want that crispy bacon sound. Make sure you wear your gloves. And do 2 tack welds. I'm wearing shorts. Not recommending you use shorts, guys. You're gonna want pants, because it's flex core. You want to clean off your weld. There's going to be debris left over, and if you're going to weld again, you're going to clean that top portion off, break it off. I'm using this little small brush because I can't find the other one right now in the recording, so I keep shitting off the camera. I just want to get a good weld, and then pretty sure you guys get the idea. But here we go. You can see there's the tack welds right there. They're hot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish welding that up, and get back to you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so I didn't want to move this yet. I want to make sure it was marked. I tapped in with a smaller drill bit, enlarged it, and then I went in with this bit here. Let's go ahead and make it larger for the sheet metal. So now I got the bolt ready, and I found this one, and I keep a lot of, when I part out vehicles, I keep a lot of bolts. When I part out vehicles, I just keep them on hand. You never notice I got like a whole bucket here full of random bolts from different parts vehicles that I took out apart. Save those just in case I don't have to run to the store and look for bolts. Saves money. Pretty much smashed it up what was originally in the truck, the size like this one here. So this one's actually a bit thicker. Should be pretty good to hold that down. And then I found a nut for it, and I'm going to make a bracket that I'm going to get welded to the bottom of the truck, which is this piece here. This is a scrap piece that I had. I could cut myself. I sure did right there. Okay, so this is a scrap piece that I have. This normally goes underneath the bed of a truck. So I believe that one came out of the maroon truck. Wash this off real quick. Make myself kind of sharp. So the idea is to use what you have available, and this is the idea that I want to share with you guys, because like I said, these vehicles, I mean, to a point, but you don't want to put in the, you don't want to make a jalopy or a piece of junk truck or a car or whatever, but if it can work, you can use it. So I did this. I'm going to use this metal since the hole is already done for me. That's half of the job, and then I'm going to clean it up, wire brush it, and I'm going to cut these brackets off. And the idea is I'm going to fit this bolt to here, so it's a bigger washer, and weld this, all this together on the bottom end of the truck. So it's going to be stronger, so it won't pull. That's going to keep it base down. All right, a minute. So I cut off that end right there. Goes a clear across. Took off about maybe 1/4 of an inch just to take off that tab that was sitting there, and then it was a little larger than I wanted, so I just took off about 1/4 of an inch, and then cleaned up the sides. After I took out those tabs, any of the existing metal, just shaved it off, cleaned it up, and this is what I ended up with. So now I'm going to drill some holes in it, like 4 holes, so when I weld it, it's going to tack onto the bottom of the truck. So, but I am going to bolt it in for now, and then later I will go back and weld those spots. The idea is I'm going to drill holes here, 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 and here. So when I weld it, there will be an open area to tack to the body of the truck. This bolt's going to go here. That's going to go like that. That's going to be welded on there just like that. That's not going to move. So then I can run the bolt in from the top down. So this portion here is going to be welded to the truck, so it will not move. All right, get back to you.
RDMS.
Alright guys, that's the idea. So then I'm going to weld that nut right into this. Those holes are going to get tack weld to the cab underneath. Alright, so if anybody is trying to figure out what I'm doing, that's what it is. It's going to go there. That's going to be all welded together, and then this nut will be removable. Alright, be back. There you go, guys. So I'm sure it's done.